views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
There you go. Hey, Miss Broglia is here. She has a class, the 5th grade class. PS 340 is here. Make some noise. Welcome, everybody, and good morning. Welcome to Open, the show that brings the Bronx and the world to you. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, and we have a fantastic show. We have the youngsters from the 5th grade, PS 340. Miss Broglia, thank you so much for bringing your students today. Hey, coming up on today's show, well, we have Giving Tuesday. Now, you heard of Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday. Well, Giving Tuesday is approaching, and we'll learn more about that, the goals of a local organization working to live in a barrier-free world. And they're here today. We're going to talk to them in a little while. Plus, we'll be joined by a youth organization striving to bring health, fitness, and lifestyle improvements to our borough. After that, the holidays are here, and we'll check out a gift fundraiser to give back this season. Then, Bobby C's on deck. Uh-oh, watch out. Should we swing a bat or throw a football? Well, he's going to be throwing bombs with the latest headlines in the world of sports. And then later on, we'll sit down with an improvement. Well, it's a prominent woman in the arts world for a look at her work to bring programs to the underserved. So stay tuned. All this and more is headed your way. We are now open. PS 340, you here? Yeah, all right. There they go. Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open, the live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. Stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, our first guests are the CEO and COO of Barrier Free Living. And they join us for a look at their work in the community. We welcome Paul Feuerstein and LaShawn Goldman to the show. We welcome you guys, and thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on. What are you guys all about?
Barrier Free Living is an agency that's been working with people with disabilities since 1981, and our main areas of concern have been homelessness and domestic violence. We've worked with severely disabled homeless people for many years. In fact, LaShawn was the director of our transitional housing program for many years prior to becoming our COO. He'd speak about that. And for 32 years, we've been working in the area of domestic violence, which is the #1 issue of women with disabilities nationwide, something people don't often connect together.
Barrier-free?
Yes. We're looking at a barrier-free world, which is not just about the physical things. We've advocated for barrier-free buses, for barrier-free curb cuts, for barrier-free housing, but also to look at the barriers that are the internal barriers, to say, I'm a person with a disability, I can't do all these kinds of things, and we're there to say, yes, you can.
So where are we in the Bronx? What are we doing in the Bronx?
We're doing supportive housing. We have family building on 138th Street in Cypress and a singles building on 139th Street in Cypress for survivors and victims of domestic violence.
Yeah.
Yes.
And of course, you said you've been working on this for over 35 years, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right, so you have something coming up that we need to know about?
Well, Christmas is coming.
Christmas is coming.
And an important thing for our families, because in order to stay safe, our families have to stay away from those families that were connected with an abuser. And that can be very difficult at the holiday time, is to find substitute family or family of choice, to find ways to celebrate holidays without being near an abuser, which can be dangerous. And it's one of the challenges we face with our families in the program. And there are individuals who are single within the program in our 139th Street building, and many of them started out as street homeless. Many of them were victims of intimate partner violence, and we're there to help them celebrate the holidays in positive ways, because it can be a tough time otherwise.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people out there who are being abused silently, and they don't
come out. They think it's
Normal.
going to be something. Yeah, they think it can be normal, but that's not normal. But what do you tell those people who are being battered, and they think that this is the way to go, and if they tell someone that something will happen, it will disrupt the family or whatever, although knowing that being battered is a disruption.
Well, that's the threat. Essentially, what our folks are told is if you tell, you will lose your children, or if you tell, you will destroy the family. If you tell, terrible things will happen. And often, unfortunately, they do, because there is a nationwide bias against parents with disabilities. And oftentimes, if a mother with a disability comes forward to say, I've been abused, and if it's learned that the children have seen some of that abuse, the children will be taken away for failure to protect. Yeah. And part of what we're doing is working on the civil rights of women with disabilities, and some men with disabilities as well. 1 in 6 men with disabilities are victims of abuse. Much higher number for women with disabilities. 90-some% of the people we work with are women.
And then there's a stigma all about this too, because nobody wants to come up and say, hey, I have a problem.
Right.
Yes.
We offer emergency shelter through our Freedom House program for victims and survivors of domestic violence. So when people are in a situation, they can exit the situation through our Freedom House program.
What does Giving Tuesday have to do with it?
Giving Tuesday is a helpful thing because there are times of year when we need to support the people we serve, both in the residents who are in our domestic violence shelter, as well as the tenants who are in our supportive housing, to help support them in celebrating the holidays. Because of the challenges I spoke about before.
Right.
There is a temptation to go back to family or go back to abusers, or go back with the hope that things can be better the next time around. And we know that often isn't the case. And so we're there to help people and provide the level of support so they can begin to be independent from abuse.
Right. You know, we hear a lot about Black Friday and Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, and you know we're just learning about Giving Tuesday. Right. Did they just add this? I mean, you know,
it's been around a couple of years.
A couple of years.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the latest one.
Yes.
And we're going to go through the week. They're going to keep going. They're going to come up with something for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Well, we had Saturday.
Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we try to provide a sense of community in our programs, so that families can come together within the building. We offer holiday parties for the tenants in our family buildings in the Bronx and our singles building, correct?
Yes.
Right. So we try to give back in that way. We also work with other organizations to provide toys for the children, etc. So we try to do that to make sure that the sense of family is ingrained in our programs.
And you have a number of programs throughout the year, right? Not just this time of the year.
Yes.
Yes.
Talk about some of those other programs.
Well, our supportive housing program is designed to provide a lighter level of support than what would be available in shelter. We learned from 13 years of running Freedom House that about 20% of the people who came to us were going to be challenged when they left shelter. They didn't have the support, if they didn't have the supports they needed. And so we became advocates for there being a separate category for domestic violence survivors in the supportive housing system. What we have right now is based on what was called New York 3, which is an agreement between New York City and New York State, and families where the head of household has a disabling medical condition. It was easy for us to fill those apartments with survivors of domestic violence because it's the #1 issue of women with disabilities. We are now developing a building and a site on the Lower East Side that is specifically for survivors of domestic violence. And has units that are labeled as such through the New York State Empire State Supportive Housing Initiative. City hasn't come to a point where they're ready to embrace domestic violence as a separate category yet, but we're helping to move them in that direction.
All right, so you have a lot of people that don't realize that they're wrapped up in a domestic violence situation. How do you tell them? What do you tell them? There are people out there suffering.
We say there's help, and we give the help in different ways because not everybody is ready to go into shelter.
How can they tell if they are in a situation where they're suffering from domestic violence?
Well, if someone is being economically abused or psychologically abused, is being told they're not worthwhile, is being told they can't have friends without the approval of an abuser. That's all part of domestic violence. It's about power and control.
Not just battering.
No, it's about power and control is the core issue.
Yeah.
It's controlling kids, it's controlling money, it's controlling access to the outside world. I remember one woman who said of her abuser, you know, you don't need a father or a mother or a sister or a brother. I am your father, I am your mother, I am your sister, I am your brother, I am your God.
Yeah, whoa.
Heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And we're there to say there's another way and help people along that way. We have a community-based program that works with people who are still living with their abuser because they're not sure it's safe yet for them to leave.
Yeah.
It's a big decision. It's leaving everything behind. It's leaving family, church, jobs, everything, like being in a witness protection program.
Yeah. Wow.
And moving from there. So we are fierce about keeping the location of our domestic violence shelter confidential because that's what's needed to keep our families safe.
Where do people go for more information or if they think they have a problem?
You can go to our website, bflnyc.org.
It's
bflnyc.org. That's our
Like
website.
Barrier-Free Living New York City,
Yeah.
Baptists for Life beat us to bfl.org.
They got that.
right.
So we added the NYC because we're New Yorkers.
City.
There
Right,
you go.
yeah,
It
Okay.
works.
Yeah.
All right.
And there's information on the website. So go to bflnyc.org, and there's information on there.
There you go. Give them a big round of applause, everybody. Paul Feuerstein, CEO, Barrier Free Living, and LaShawn Goldman, COO. Thank you guys so much, and
Thank
thank
you
you
for
for your
having us on.
service. We really appreciate you.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. And come back again and share more.
Okay.
All right. Got to take a quick break right here, but stay tuned. We'll be right back with more next.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Miss Broglia's class. The fifth grade is singing their ABCs here. PS 340, make some noise in class. See, that's the basics, right? The ABCs. You got to know your ABCs. Welcome back. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee. And our next guest is a board member from the TriLatino Triathlon. Say it 5 times real fast.
TriLatino Triathlon, TriLatino Triathlon.
And we're here to share details about their youth program and their goals for Giving Tuesday. It's all about Giving Tuesday. We welcome Jerusha Ramos.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Hey, how
Bob.
are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
All right.
Good.
A lot of fun here, right?
It is a lot of
We
fun.
have
It's
the
great
fifth
to
grade
see the
with us,
yeah,
yes.
it's great to see the fifth graders here.
They're here to see how we operate here. Of course, we got everybody on camera, got everybody on the floor, and we've got the control room where interns and students work together with professionals right here at BronxNet. And we thank them, we appreciate it. Give them all a big round of applause. You guys do a fantastic
They're
job.
doing a phenomenal
All right.
audience. Yeah.
Tell us about your organization.
So TriLatino Triathlon Club is a nonprofit, and it was started 10 years ago by 3 endurance athletes who realized that when they showed up at triathlons, they would usually only see very few people like themselves. And they decided, why don't we do something and create a nonprofit to increase the participation of Latinos and people of color in endurance sports, specifically triathlon. Now, triathlon is where you swim, then you bike and run, and that happens one right after the other. And the participation of people of color in that level of sport is minimal. So what we do is try to increase that by training, teaching, and exposing, and bringing people into this lifestyle. But the added component is we want to go ahead and do it because we know it helps decrease the levels of obesity, heart disease, and diabetes that really affect our community.
I know somebody who does it, Michael Max Nobby.
Yes,
he wears a helmet, and he has a helmet cam.
Yes.
So he captures everything all along the way.
And he is a friend of TriLatino as well. We do know him, yes.
Okay, so what are your goals with our youth?
Well, with our youth, we actually, like I said, TriLatino started 10 years ago, and it is for adults. And then about 2 years after that, so we're now going into starting next year, our 9th year, we realized, why don't we go ahead and see if we can attract a younger demographic? If we can increase the levels of healthy lifestyles at that level, it could be monumental and change their community, the way they actually live their life. And so that by the time they get to adulthood, they've picked up really good skills and understand the importance of exercise and eating right and things like that. So we began, because most of us were at the time from the Bronx, we began with a high school here in the Bronx, and then we expanded it to 2 high schools in the Bronx, going ahead and teaching high school students over a short period of time how to swim, how to bike, how to run, and at the end of that program, every year, they go ahead and they race. And they actually
and
compete.
are the kids, the youngsters, receptive to this?
It is an incredibly popular
growing.
program. It is growing, and we usually have to turn students away because there is limit in terms of how many we can take into our program.
Right. That means you need more funds to expand.
Absolutely. It is also a very expensive sport, which is another reason why not only for youth but also for adults, it keeps us out from participating. The latest statistics that the USAT, which is the United States Association of Triathletes, that particular organization, which is the umbrella organization, went ahead and had a study and realized that the average triathlete earns $100,000 a year. That's clearly not the people in our communities. And therefore, that is a barrier to entry because you need to buy a wetsuit, you need to buy a bike, you have to train, you have to pay for coaching, you have to pay for pool access, and things like that. So we go ahead, through our organization, make that accessible to people, not just youth, but adults.
So if you get involved in a triathlon, you're going to get involved in, you have to have some running shoes.
Right.
You need gear.
Yeah, you need gear. You need gear. You need a
running
swimsuit
shoes?
at
You need a
least,
swimsuit.
goggles and a swim cap at
Wait,
minimum.
Can you run in your swimsuit, or you need something that's?
Well, actually, they have
Up the
these things
middle.
called tri-kits, which is what we go ahead and make and give to our youth in our youth team. We give them tri-kits, which is an outfit that you can swim, bike, and run in without having to change.
Yeah, because if you don't have the right equipment, you can get chafe. You know, all kinds of
Exactly.
things
You can
happen.
not only that, you can get hurt if you don't have the right kind of helmet. If your bike doesn't fit you properly, you can strain, pull a muscle, fall off your bike. And if you don't have the proper running shoes, even something as simple as running shoes, most people are like, doesn't matter, sneakers are sneakers.
Oh, wear some
They're
Converse.
not.
Can I wear some Converse?
Exactly. I'm just going to put my Chucks on and I can just go for a run. That doesn't work. You actually need to have proper
need
running
the right
shoes
gear.
because if not, then you can hurt yourself and it can cause long-lasting damage.
So this is expensive, but you have
It
a program
is.
where you can help.
Exactly. The
students out.
funds that get donated throughout the year, and especially on Giving Tuesday to TriLatino, are going to be used to help what our organization does, providing the equipment, providing the coaching, and providing access to the different disciplines that you need to train in.
So this is giving This is giving Monday and Tuesday. Cyber Monday, you can get it by.
Exactly.
Send
Yeah.
it by
You can also
Amazon and stuff.
Amazon Smile. You can choose TriLatino Triathlon
Yeah.
Club for your Amazon Smile, and every purchase you do would give us a
Jerusha,
small
here's
percentage.
what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a camera.
Okay.
And you can say, hey, this is Giving Tuesday.
Yes.
Let's start off on Monday. You can start giving
Absolutely.
So there's that camera. Say hello to my little friend.
Hello, your little friend. And I would just say that, yes, please consider going ahead and donating to TriLatino Triathlon Club. We are a wonderful nonprofit organization, a one of a kind. We know that the youth development program that we have here in New York City is unique and does not exist in any other place in the United States. And we also have a wonderful organization for adults. If you, and that would be our oldest member, was 72 years old when he completed his first triathlon, which we taught him how to swim, bike, and run. So you are helping Bronx natives, you are helping New York City residents, and you are helping by donating to us to increase the participation of Latino and people of color in triathlons and other endurance sports. It's a wonderful,
Where do
wonderful.
they send
They should go to trilatino.org, and we have a donate button there. As I said, if you shop on Amazon, you can go to Amazon and choose Amazon Smile, and TriLatino Triathlon Club is an organization that you can go ahead and also tag. And some people like Zelle, you can also go ahead and donate through Zelle at info@trilatino.org.
There you go. PS340, what do you think? Give her a big round of applause. You guys think you can get involved with this?
Yeah.
So they will become a what? A
They
triathlon?
would be juniors, because the race category for anyone under 18 is considered a junior. So they do have, and it's age appropriate. So for someone in the 5th grade, the distance that they have to swim, bike, and run is a little shorter than what you would as a high school student and what you would as an adult.
Oh, that's a piece of cake for
Exactly.
them. They can do that.
Yeah, we should emulate New Zealand. New Zealand starts triathlons for kids as young as 3 and 4 years old, and they're actually, since they can't ride a bike, they do it on a scooter. So they swim, then they scoot, and then they run. So there's definitely
So
rooms for
scoot on
improvement.
over. Ms. Boglia, you ready? You want to get the youngsters involved? All right. So you can see my girl here. You can see Jerusha here. Okay, she'll take good care of you.
Absolutely.
How do you qualify?
So right
applications
now we
or
have applications, and we are, like I said, we are limited to high school students, and you
Uh-huh.
can go online and find information for that if you're interested for a student of yours. We have 3 high schools right now: Cathedral High School, Cardinal Hayes High School, and Bronx Academy of Letters.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And those, and then of course for adults, they can certainly go ahead and join as well.
So say it 5 times real fast.
TriLatino Triathlon Club, TriLatino Triathlon Club, TriLatino Triathlon Club, TriLatino Triathlon Club, TriLatino Triathlon Club.
There you go. And the website is
TriLatino.org.
5 times.
TriLatino.org. TriLatino.org.
Jerusha Ramos, Director, TriLatino Juniors Team Youth Development Program. Give her a big round of applause.
Thank you very much
you
for
so
having
much.
me. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we have to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Open Next.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
That's Miss Broglia's class, the 5th grade, PS 340. You like them? They're really into this, you know.
Yeah.
So we welcome back everybody.
You know, this holiday season, our next guest is working to give back through providing gifts to those in need. And joining us with all the details, we have Natalie Ramos, the founder of Spoiled Brats Give Back.
Hello.
How'd you come up with that name?
You know what? My mom always called me a spoiled brat growing up, and I always wanted to find a way to give back, and it kind of came together a few years ago.
Put it all together, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Spoiled Brats Give Back.
Absolutely.
Good, good. So tell us about what you're doing.
This is our 7th year. We are raising gifts for Christmas. This year we've done a lot. We went to Puerto Rico 4 times this year.
You did?
Yes, absolutely. Three Kings Day is huge in Puerto Rico, and because of the hurricane, we took over 1,000 gifts.
December 1st through the 6th or something? Or the starting at the 6th?
We went December 1st to the 6th, actually, yes. But it's out usually on January 6th, yeah.
You go to the small, the pueblos, and they have lechon.
We went to the hardest hit areas, and we delivered about 1,000 gifts to the kids. It was an amazing experience.
Great.
We did a parranda, a little parade through the towns that were hardest hit, and we delivered gifts. Usually everything is for the Bronx, but because of Hurricane Maria, we decided to venture out and have those kids.
Oh, you have the Bronx in Puerto Rico.
Absolutely. And it
Bronx.
was very well received and supported immensely. It was great, yes.
Great.
But this year, we're bringing it back to the Bronx.
You're bringing it back.
And we are working with the Jackson Avenue Family Residences. They house over 180 kids, and they need gifts for Christmas.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you need a little help.
We need a little
help. How are you
help.
getting your gifts?
We are throwing a huge fundraiser at Mount Haven Bar and Grill, an amazing restaurant owned by Rosa Garcia at 1 Bruckner Boulevard.
Rosie, ¿cómo está?
Oh, she's amazing. It absolutely is going to be fun on a Thursday night from 6 to 10. DJ, drinks, dinner, bring a gift. There's a $10 donation if you do not have a gift. But we expect to get most of our gifts from there, and then we have a GoFundMe page that will get everything else.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
What is
absolutely.
the GoFundMe page?
The GoFundMe is 7th-annual-holiday-gift-drive.
Dashing through the
There
snow.
you go, exactly. So
I got you.
we are getting most of our gifts, obviously, through the fundraiser, but hopefully get some through the GoFundMe for the people that can't make it.
Yeah.
There's a common misconception that you have to be rich to give to charity. $5 buys a child a gift.
Yeah.
$5 gets a child to smile.
And this is a Give Back Monday and Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday,
Cyber
absolutely.
Monday, Give Back Tuesday.
Yes, you spent all of your money with, hopefully you have $5 for us to get one kid a gift.
And it's always good to give back.
Absolutely,
Not only
it
Give
feels
Back
great.
Tuesday, but all year round, because giving is...
We do.
You get by giving.
Absolutely.
And it's one of the paradoxes of life.
Yeah,
You get
absolutely.
by
We've
giving.
held some prom dress drives throughout the year, Thanksgiving drives, back to school drives. You know, we try to do everything we can throughout the year.
So we got to hook you up all year round so that you can help others.
That is, yes, hopefully that'll work out. Absolutely, yes.
Okay, here you go. You ready?
Yes. What am I ready for?
You ready? Natalie, you ready?
I'm ready.
Say hello to my little friend. Ask for what you want.
We need money for gifts for these children. We are actually going to the Jackson Avenue Family Residences on December 22nd to give out these gifts to these children. Again, that's 180 kids that we need to service. We're also working with another organization called the South Bronx Kids, second generation, that services over 100 kids in the South Bronx. And we still want to keep up with our people in Puerto Rico and send them as many as we possibly can, because they are still in dire need. Yeah.
All right. Natalie, you were born in the project? You raised,
Born in the projects, yes, but in El Barrio. I have been in the last 15 years in the Bronx.
2nd Street somewhere?
103rd and 1st
103rd
Avenue.
and
Yes.
1st Avenue. All right. I knew that there's an area
Spanish
over
Harlem,
there.
yes. Born in NYCHA housing. I know what it is to want, but my mother, fortunately, did everything she possibly can to make sure that
I didn't feel that
but
want.
you know, growing up in a that was a fun time.
It was a fun time.
I grew up in Queensbridge Project.
I was
one
a
of the
little
biggest
sheltered. My mother didn't let me do much.
Oh, Mom's gonna look
But
out for you
looking
now.
out the window, people had fun. Yes, so you know, being from inner city and being still there, I'm now in the South Bronx. I fell in love with the Bronx. I fell in love with the mom and pop feel of the Bronx, and especially the South Bronx. I love that area.
And you were a brat.
And I was a brat. So we're trying to give back, absolutely.
All right, so Brats give back.
Yeah.
Spoiled Brats give back.
Brats give back.
Yeah. Okay, so you asked for what you wanted.
Yes.
Do you have electeds helping you out, or?
You know what I love about this is that we do this on our own, and people. It started off with just friends and family coming together at a restaurant and bringing gifts. That first year that I asked everyone to come, we raised about 300 gifts. Now we're up to almost 1,000. So it's getting bigger and bigger. End goals are becoming a 501c3, getting those corporate donors. So if anybody has connections with that, who can help us with that, please help us.
So you need a lawyer. Or you can do it
all
yourself.
that.
You can go online
I
and do
heard
it.
you can do the legal Zoom and do stuff like that. But that is our 2019 goal, to become 501c3 and get that donors.
Yeah, people can
donors
write
from
checks,
corporate.
yeah.
Absolutely, and
You'll
they
be
could
dealing
get
with
tax.
the CHAR 5 and all of that
Absolutely.
stuff. Yeah.
So definitely something that is in the future.
That's good. All right.
Yes.
Give her a big round of applause, everybody. Yay, 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 yay. Go, Natalie. Spoiled Brats Give Back. That's going to be the name of the organization?
That is going to be the name of the organization. It actually own the name, so I'm happy about that. I made that step.
So you'll be able to go to spoiledbrat.org?
Would be
You
able
better
to
get
go
it
to
now.
that.
Grab it now.
I have the .com. I need to get the .org.
Oh, you get the org now.
Yes, and everyone is invited to the event. Like I said,
As soon as we leave here, because somebody's going to see it. Oh, yeah, let me lock that in. She's going to have to pay me to get it. So get it as soon as you leave here.
Yeah,
Okay?
absolutely. The event, again, December 13th from 6 to 10 at Mott Haven Bar and Grill, who has been so gracious to give us their spot. The food and the drinks are amazing. So that's going to be fun. There'll be door prizes, raffles, a whole bunch of things going on.
We're going to bring the whole BronxNet crew over there.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
We're gonna clean
Again,
you out.
December 13th, yes.
You guys ready? All right, we're going to clean you out. I'm sorry. December 13th.
Yes, a Thursday night.
All right. You have a website?
SpoiledBratsGiveBack.com for now.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you'll get the .org.
And then I'll get
later
the .org when I'm 501c3.
Give her a big hand, everybody. Natalie Ramos, founder, Spoiled Brats Give Back. Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break, but on deck next, he's going to be hitting home runs and throwing bombs and the whole nine. Bobby C. with sports. The Sports Roundup is next.
Hi, I'm David Lesh, legal correspondent to the Morning Show Open. If you have a legal question that you'd like me to answer, please send me an email at davidlesh@bronxnet.org, and I will address it on our Ask Your Lawyer segment.
Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
We begin on the NFL gridiron. Tom Brady threw 2 touchdown passes and became the NFL's career leader in total yards passing in regular season and playoff games, leading the New England Patriots to a 27-13 victory over the New York Jets on Sunday. Here's Brady in the postgame.
Are you still sick today? You still feeling it?
I'm feeling better. Yeah, feeling better today. And yeah.
I know it's not about records, but you passed another one today. Is there one record over the years that you're particularly proud of?
Just wins. I mean, that's what we're here for, to win games. So trying to be a part of as many of these as I can. I love being out there with my teammates and working hard at trying to figure out how to get the job done each week. And it's not easy, but you know, just here to win. You'd love to be perfect out there. You know, the other teams are well coached and they got a lot of good players too. So, you know, when you win, you feel really good. And it's obviously a couple weeks ago, you know, we did everything the opposite of what we needed to do. And I think we're doing a better job taking care of the ball. It gives us a much better chance to win games. And scoring more points, converting on third down, scoring in the red area, all those things are really important that we talked about. So we made some plays. There's certainly ones we left out there, but you know, we'll take it and keep moving forward.
Brady moved past Peyton Manning for the most total passing yards in NFL history. Josh McCown went toe-to-toe with Brady for 3 quarters. McCown and the Jets get an A for effort, but moral victories aren't acceptable, of course. They collapsed in typical fashion with a questionable coaching decision looming large in their defeat. Gangrene, now 3-8, is losers of 5 straight for the first time in the Todd Bowles era. They're playing out the string. It's the worst of times for a losing team in the NFL, but it's hardly a new reality for the Jets, who will miss the playoffs for the 8th straight season. The loss practically ensures their 3rd consecutive losing season. The Jets have lost 17 of their past 22 games under Bowles. The Patriots were called for an offensive pass interference in the first quarter. Instead of declining the penalty, making it 4th and 2 from the Jets' 24, Bowles accepted the penalty to make it 3rd and 12 from the 34. The Giants and Pat Shurmur didn't fare much better in Philly. Jake Elliott kicked a 43-yard field goal with 22 seconds remaining, and the Eagles rallied for a 25-22 victory over the New York Giants. They're in the midst of a rebuilding process, and wins the previous 2 weeks over the San Francisco 49ers and Tampa Bay Buccaneers shouldn't mask that. The Giants' offense is playing better, and there were more signs of progress, but while blowing a 16-point lead, there were more than a few hints as to why the Giants remain in the running for the #1 overall pick rather than a playoff berth. The 3-8 Giants are simply not good enough to compete for a playoff spot, even in a down NFC East. Wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. set the goal at 1-7 to win the final 8 games of the season. Even he knew that would be viewed as crazy. At the quarter season mark, Kenny Atkinson says he'd give the Brooklyn Nets a B overall. The young Nets are 8-12 and 4-6 in their last 10 games. They fell to Jimmy Butler and the Sixers at the buzzer on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Knicks top Memphis 103-98 for their 3rd straight victory. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. From college football, Alabama and Clemson seem to be on a collision course to play for a national championship again. For the 2nd straight season, Georgia is standing in the Crimson Tide's way, this time in next week's SEC championship game in Atlanta. But the final full weekend of the regular season finally delivered unexpected results and drama. Ohio State spoiled Michigan's Big Ten title and college football playoff dreams with a rout that neither side will soon forget. And by the end of Saturday night, LSU and Texas A&M had played 7 overtimes before the Aggies limped away with a 74-72 victory, the highest scoring game in FBS history. From motorsport, the final Grand Prix of the season saw Lewis Hamilton claim his 11th win of the campaign, a title for Mercedes, and Fernando Alonso bowing out of the sport after 17 years. I was wrong, folks. Phil Mickelson prevailed Friday in darkness on a makeshift hole played 3 times, finally converting a foot putt to win. It was a bit of a bizarre end to a day that had its moments, just not enough of them. The five-time major champion who desperately and jokingly wanted to prevail to hold some measure of gloating over his longtime nemesis, Tiger Woods, won 4 holes in regulation, 3 when Woods made a bogey. Both players missed very makeable putts in what turned out to be a 4-hole playoff, 3 of them on a 93-yard hole where floodlights were used to continue the action. Yankees right-hander Sonny Gray is reportedly up for grabs this season after a disappointing performance in the Bronx, and there appears to be no shortage of suitors vying for the starter's services. In addition to the Cincinnati Reds, who are linked to the team, the Athletics, the Braves, the Twins, the Rangers, and Padres have all expressed interest in the righty, though no one team has emerged as a frontrunner in trade talks just yet. It looks like star Arizona first baseman Paul Goldschmidt could be up for grabs. He would be a nice fit for either the Yanks or the Mets. Goldschmidt, 31, is entering his final year under contract with the D-backs. The hot-hitting first baseman completed his 6th straight All-Star run in 2018 with 33 home runs. Kawhi Leonard is back. This season in Toronto, he's averaging 24.4 points and 8.4 rebounds a game, shooting efficiently with a 57.5 true shooting percentage, playing lockdown on-ball defense, and has led the Raptors to a 16-4 record to start the season. Meanwhile, San Antonio, his former team, is 500. But when asked pregame about Patty Mills stepping up as a leader for the Spurs, coach Greg Popovich said he and Manu Ginobili were doing that before because vocal leadership is not what Kawhi Leonard does. Leonard said he leads by example. The world chess champion Magnus Carlsen is defending his title in London, but so far he's been unable to win one single game against his challenger, Fabiano Caruana. With 11 draws and 11 games, no championship has ever been as close as this one. The MLS Cup is now finally 2 weeks away, but Atlanta United's Eastern Conference Finals clash with the New York Red Bulls feels every bit like the league's championship showdown. Atlanta won the first leg 3-0 Sunday, with apologies to Sporting Kansas City's Western Conference Finals clash with the Portland Timbers, which should be a tightly contested affair. The Red Bulls and Atlanta have been the best teams in MLS for much of the 2018 season and enter this series having put together 2 of the best seasons in league history. On the ice, Tampa Bay defeated the Devils 5-2 Sunday. The Isles host Washington tonight at 7. The Rangers will host Ottawa at 7. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for a team that might be able to challenge Alabama for the national title. Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish all but punched their first CFP ticket with a 24-17 victory at USC on Saturday night. The result was a little closer than expected, and the Irish had to come back from a 10-point deficit in the first half, but they only needed to win. It's the 4th time in the past 50 years that they've finished a regular season unbeaten. The Irish have now done it twice under coach Brian Kelly. They went 12-0 in 2012 before losing to Alabama, 42-14 in the BCS National Championship that year. Kelly is only the 4th coach in Notre Dame history to have multiple unbeaten regular seasons, and yes, Knute Rockne is among that list. Quarterback Ian Book threw for a career-high 352 yards against the Trojans, becoming the first Notre Dame player to throw for at least 300 against USC in the past 20 years. I believe this team is better than that 2012 team that fell to Bama. I would love to see the Fighting Irish get another crack at them this year. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke. I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Protect the ones you love. Spot a stroke fast.
Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. Yeah, I get it.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Hey, welcome back, welcome back. Our next guest is an artist and exclusive executive director and founder of the Foundation for New American Art. Joins us for a look at her work in the community. She does a fantastic job. We welcome, give her a big round of applause again, Phoebe Legere. Yes, indeed. Did I say it right?
That pronunciation was perfect.
Legere.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
Thank you. So tell us about your wonderful works.
Thank you so much for giving me a chance to talk about something that I love. I started on the Lower East Side. I was a runaway at age 15. I've experienced all the kinds of abuse that we've heard about on this show, from family violence to domestic violence. I had all the hallmarks of a real loser. And somehow, by the grace of the Lord of the universe, I was shown my mission in life. And once you find your cause, once you connect with your mission,
how did you find
you
that?
find your passion. It's amazing, Bob. My neighborhood taught me what it needed. I realized
so everything was right there in the community for you.
Everything was right there. I had an artist studio that was basically right in the projects, the NYCHA projects between Avenue C and Avenue D. 1 mile away.
Right next to Conrad down there?
That's right.
I know.
It's 1 mile from the financial center of wealth of the whole world, right? The global center of money. Let's just call it what it is. I'm living a mile away, and I'm in the center of very extreme poverty, gang violence, drug use, and all the things that lead nowhere. So we realized that we had to connect with people's dreams and give them another way to find their beautiful future. I opened up what I called the New York Underground Museum. And I started to give parties where I put up paintings from local artists. We had local musicians, we had local poets, poets from the New Eurekan Cafe, the New Eurekan poets, the great hip hop poets that exist down on the Lower East Side, and people who were doing performance art. And we had parties in the gardens. And families started to come. I thought these parties would just be for my artist, my crazy artist
so
friends,
you started raising
Bob.
money for your work.
Oh no, there was no money in the
No
beginning.
money, it was free.
It was free. I just opened up the doors and gave the art to the neighborhood. People started to come and bring their children. And you know, we usually think of New York art, performance art, as being something for very sophisticated people. But these were very often immigrant families, people from diverse cultural backgrounds, bringing their folkloric music, bringing their incredible folk art, and bringing their beautiful, often from other lands, spirituality, different ways of worshiping through art.
Are you deeply involved in spirituality? Because I
I'm
see
deeply
have,
into it.
What do you have on?
Well, I'm a Native American descendant of the Abenaki tribe, and this is a turtle made by a beautiful bead worker on my reservation, which is between Canada and Maine. And this is Turtle Island. This is a turtle, and this is where we live. This is North America.
Yeah.
And what Turtle really wants to say is, there's no Mexico, there's no Canada, there's no borders. There's just love, the love of the turtle for her people. And Turtle is very, very old. Turtle Island, North America, goes back billions of years. We're the newcomers. We're all immigrants here, so we have to treat the mother with great respect. And environmental respect is a big part of my work.
Do you depict a lot of that in your artwork?
Yes, you can see my work at phoebelegere.com. But I'm here to really talk about my foundation.
Tell us about it.
Because I've spent my adult life singing, making paintings, going all over the world. Music has been like a magic carpet for me.
Is that what your foundation is about? The singing and the art?
It's about music and art, and we also bring in theater and dance because middle school children love to dance. They love to get up. Their bodies work so well, and the best way to explore your body and your soul and to integrate both of them is through dance and song. So a lot of the schools have eliminated art and music, Bob, and I just got so angry about it because I could see how my neighborhood is just all about expression. And so I made myself a 501c3. It was very difficult for me as an artist because that's a kind of brain activity that requires math and it requires understanding the law. That was all new for me. I had to grow to be a community activist.
So do you have outreach? Do you
We
go to
have,
the schools?
We do, and I have a program, a 9-week program that is at 155 First Avenue at the Theater for the New City. I'm the sole underwriter for that program. It's an arts and education program for kids who have no art and music in their schools. It's so important, Bob, thank you. It's not just important, it is vital to the health of America that we realize that by engaging in art and music, kids can learn about math. Because drawing, when you draw the human figure, you are doing geometry. And there was a guy who invented geometry whose name was Pythagoras. And he also invented the musical scale. La da 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 ba 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 da 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 dum. That's Pythagoras invented that by finding out that if you put your finger on the string of an instrument in different places, you get different notes. And the amazing thing is that when we sing together, you may think you don't have a great voice like Bob Lee, who has one of the most beautiful voices I ever heard. But sometimes people say, "Oh, don't sing, I don't like your voice." That is not good. That is not true, because when we all sing together, it sounds beautiful. It's called harmony, and it is spiritual, and it's good for your health. So yes, go to www.foundationfornewamericanart.org, or go to my Facebook page, www.facebook.com, Foundation for New American Art. I know it's a long word.
Can
Foundation
you sing us something? Good. Foundation for
New American Art.
Yeah. Can you sing and dance right in your seat?
I can. Well, I'm going to sing a 10,000-year-old Native American song. You know, in the days before medicine, if you got sick, you had to hire somebody like me, a song and dance man. And if you believed what I was singing, if you sang along, you would get better.
It'll help you feel better.
Otherwise, you would die. So I promise, if you sing along at home, or if the middle school children of PS 340 sing along, I promise you'll feel better, you'll make more money, and you'll get along better with your families. Because families in this day and age, with all the distractions, are not experiencing the bringing together thing that the arts
They're
do.
giving us 30 seconds. Go ahead. You can stay right there.
We are the children of the earth, born in the place where the sun comes up. We are the children of the earth, born in the place where the sun comes up. She's calling to us. Grandmother is calling to us. Woo! Is that 30 seconds?
That's 30 seconds.
All right. That's a sacred hymn from 10,000 years ago. And
Wow.
my grandmother taught me that when I had a cold. She would sing that to me, I would get better. So you see the
So
healing
that was your cough
power.
medicine and everything.
It's everything. Of course, I'm also studying the herbs that come from the trees and the plants, and they're very helpful too.
Yes, okay. Where do we go to get more information on you?
Oh, thank you very much, Bob. Tomorrow's Giving Tuesday. It's a new holiday, but I think it's awesome because people have proved that giving actually gives more pleasure than receiving. That's scientifically proved. So please consider a donation, even $5, to our program, which brings art and music to middle school children on the Lower East Side. We have outreach programs in Florida, and we have a camp called Camp Superstar in Pennsylvania. So if you want to learn more, just write me an email, info@foundationfornewamericanart.org.
There you go. It's a circle of love you get by giving. It's one of the paradoxes of life.
Yes.
Give her a big hand, everybody. Phoebe Legere. Yeah. Thank you so much, Phoebe.
Thank you, Bob.
All right, hold on a second. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. I'd like to thank you, our guests, for joining us and you for tuning in and checking it all out. Now, you can catch a recablecast tonight at 5 and 10 p.m. or watch anytime on the web at bronxnet.org. You can tune in Wednesday also for a brand new episode with host Darren Jaime. For all of us here at BronxNet, have a great and enjoyable day. PS 340, make some noise. Thank you so much. Always remember this, what you are is God's gift to you. And what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. I'll catch you on the radio tonight over 107.5 WBLS. Love you all. Peace.
And I can't change, even if I try, even if I wanted to. My love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race.
Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.